Good morning. It's a little overcast out here, but we're not going to let that stop us. It's March, early March at that, and we're just going to get an update on the garden. We planted several things all through the fall and into the winter. So let's get an update and see where we are with everything in our garden. Let's get into it. First, let's look at our garlic. This is the garlic that was more of what I call the teenage garlic, just based on the size. It is not our oldest garlic. We'll look at that in a second. This is some of that garlic I bought from MI, where they had you just got a sale and it's just just get whatever random garlic they had left over, but it was discounted. So this is that garlic. Here's some Enchelium Red, and we talked about before how amazing the flavor this has, and these should be ready around late May, early June. So we've got a little time on these, maybe early May. It just depends, because I succession planted so many of these because I had so much garlic this year. Here are oxheart carrots. As you see, for some reason we don't have a whole lot of growth. We've got, just a little bit of growth here, maybe a couple of things doing something, and then we had beets here, okay? Root crops like carrots, beets, also parsnips, and we've got some carrots also, look here in this back one here next door. I put garlic in there with it. That's companion planting. We've got a video on companion planting, so make sure you check that out to find out what you can plant in your garden to keep the pest away. But we've got some better growth back in this bed. Anyway, back to this. These root crops like beets, carrots, and parsnips, they need, on the NPK scale, they need more of the P and the K. So because of that, we've got some organic products that'll help us. We've got bone meal. Look at that middle number. There's the P in our NPK ratio. That's that phosphorus for our strong root development. We're going to put some of that on our root crops today. And we've also got the langbeinite. And this is, as you see, completely our last letter of K. This is our potassium. It's very strong in potassium on the ratio, and you can see it's OMRI listed. That's for organic products, so we try to do as much organic gardening as we can. So let's go ahead and add these two to this bed. Okay, here's our bone meal. Just gonna go ahead and just kind of move that so that's kind of more at the base of the plant. Not sure exactly where all the carrots are, since we didn't have a germination as much in this bed, so I'm just kind of dusting it. And then this one that's got better germination, we'll go ahead and you can see more carrots are coming out. Even got some tiny ones even here. And one reason I'm confident in this is last year when I had carrots for the first time, I had the same kind of thing where the growth was like this all fall. And then all of a sudden during like March or April of the next year, which will be, this time of the year now, they just exploded and they grew full term. I did oxhearts last year, and that's what these are. These are oxhearts this time, and I've got some other ones also. Here's the langbeinite. This focus may not be the best right now, but it's it looks like pink Himalayan salt, sea salt, something of that nature. So we're gonna go ahead and put some of that here also, and also on our area where we've got more growth. Just as an update, our onions, early grano Texas, doing very little, almost nothing here, pretty much giving us, yes, look, they say, yes, give us nothing. So yeah, those are not doing what I want them to do. Here's our Utah yellow sweet. I'm in zone 8, so I can do short day onions and possibly intermediate, but you can see we've got a couple little things that try to do something here. I mean, very minimal. I doubt they're probably going to do anything at this point, but I'm going to let them be for now. We've got our potato onions here. that we put out in the fall. So these are coming right along. We'll probably be able to pull these next month and harvest these and get these on video. But yeah, they look, you know, very similar to our other onions and also to our garlic. We also have our Egyptian walking onions also. And so these are going to multiply, and that's why they call them walking onions. So as you see, they are making progress. Here, like I said, a lot of this was succession planted. So things have different, you know, growth stages. Some things are taller than others just because I put certain things, just getting busy working. I had to put things out in stages. So, and I've got it all logged. We've got some greens out here. You can see we do have there's some damage in certain parts, but this is, you know, better than we got before. As you know, on this channel, there's two things that we're still working on trying to master, and that's going to be onions and greens. So we've got a couple of pots of greens that did do something. We had several that did not do anything. Here's another pot that did a little something, but you can see it's got some damage here also. But this is another pot that did a little something. And another one, companion plant with garlic, but you know, this one is not going to be enough to eat. You know, we'll have to put 2 or 3 pots together to have anything that's, you know, even worth eating. Now, this is what I call my adult garlic. It's in Chilean red. This is like the first set of garlic I put out. Some of the garlic I put out was freshly bought, but this was the garlic I put out based on the garlic I grew last year. So I basically took cloves, you know, separated them and replanted them. And this is that set of garlic that will be ready first this year from the Chilean red. Here's another pot of greens, just doing a little bit of something interplanted with the garlic. Okay, let's check on the seedlings we just put out. No action yet here, but got to give them time. Trying to keep these moist, so I will go ahead and mortar these. Got to make sure just that you mist at this stage so you don't dislodge the seeds. But you can tell that there's tomatoes, black beauty tomato, and other kinds of tomatoes, Aunt Lou's tomato in this section here. And like I said, no action yet there. And this one, oh look, oh yay, we've got action. This is our experiment, our $21 greenhouse. So something did germinate, yay, already. And it's only been about 6 days at this point, because I put them out last weekend in the afternoon. This is the morning now. So we've got some peppers in here. We've got Cali Wonder bell pepper. We've got purple beauty pepper and some other ones. And again, these are not with the way this is configured. I couldn't really keep the label with it. So I decided I would just not worry about that. And I will just point my camera app at it when it's time, so I can figure out, you know, which things are what, because I had the plant tags and the plant tags, just the marker didn't work. It just, you know, wasn't the right marker. So got to work on that. But I'm just ecstatic to see something germinating. This is our second container of our seed starting experiment. And look, we've got some action. Look. This, just based on what this looks like here, this looks like corn. And we've got, look there, cool. We've got action. And so this is looking like corn. I'm going to actually, here's some more. These are doing great. Wow. So I'm going to actually find a way to recover this, because this looks like the seed itself sprouted and popped up. So we do have some action with our $21 greenhouse, you guys. Be sure that you look into that video I've got. And then, of course, it says here that South Delaware flint corn. We've got strawberry corn. So, yeah, the corn's doing great out here. And I'm going to go ahead and water these. I'm also going to water in the langbeinite and bone meal that we put out. So this tray is not doing much. No problem. Some things take longer to sprout than others. And that bottom tray is empty right now. We've also got our sweet potato dirt here. This is the dirt from our first sweet potato harvest, and check out that video if you haven't. But this dirt also, some of this is the dirt from the onions from last year, our first attempt at onions sets where we had the onion moths got to it. So we know that those kinds of pests can stay dormant in this soil for just extended periods of time. So we don't want to set ourselves up for failure this year. So I have already ordered the beneficial nematodes and the products that I'm going to treat this soil with. But I went ahead and put this in a raised bed just so I'll have it pulled over to the side, and it's already here. So whenever that order comes in, it should be within the next week, I'm going to go ahead and treat this soil and use this soil, recycle it for this upcoming year. And finally, let's look at our onions. We've got a couple of onions here. We've got red Creole here, and this is the first set. I ended up succession planting these, so this is the first set that's coming along and making progress. Fertilizing these for now with the Alaska fish food, but at some point we'll click over to different fertilizers. And if you'd like to know when the best time would be to fertilize with different products and you want organic fertilizers, make sure to check out our free Ultimate Fertilizer Guide. It's linked in the description. And then here's Texas Super Sweet. I put those out when I put the red Creole out, and I'll link the manufacturer or the retailer where I got these onion starts from. But these are the first set I put out, so they are actually making progress as we speak. Thanks for joining me today. If you want to get that free Ultimate Fertilizer Guide, it's linked in the description. And also feel free to join our free school community where you can ask questions and commune with other gardeners, brand new and experienced gardeners. Thanks for joining me. I'll see you next time.